friends. We're so excited that you're here for this episode of Dev Collaborative TV. I'm Sandra Eby, Design, UX, and Marketing Strategist, and today I'm talking with Johanna Bates, co-owner of DevCollab. DevCollab builds websites exclusively for nonprofits, paying extra attention to accessibility and sustainability of content design and code. If just thinking about updating your website is enough to send you to bed with a hot cup of tea, then you're in the right place. We're devoting this channel to helping you improve your nonprofit website so that you can reach more people with ease. If you're considering redesigning or updating your nonprofit's website, a big concern on your mind is likely how much will this project cost? Maybe you've heard horror stories from colleagues about web development projects that ballooned out of scope and got really expensive. Johanna is here to shed light on what drives the cost of a website project, where you can save time and cost, and where you can't. Tell us how content migration can be a big cost driver for a web redesign or new design project.
Yeah, absolutely. So developers can write scripts to automatically migrate content from an old website into a brand new website before it's launched while we're building it. And using those backend scripts or even using AI to migrate content is a way to make that much faster for your internal organization staff. However, it can be really costly to do automated migration or scripted migration because your old website might be really different from your new website. You might have refined the organization and structure of your content. You might be moving between two very different platforms, and you might be rewriting some of the content. There might be all kinds of things that make that costly.
So it sounds like this is a problem that's really for people who are doing a redesign or an update and not really something that would affect a new project so much. So if you have a redesign and you have an old website, it has a lot of content on it, and you want that on the new website or even some of it on the new website, automation seems tantalizing, but could maybe add some cost, depending on how different the websites are, it sounds like. So
Yeah.
what do you do about that? What is the fastest way to get it from one to the other if it's not automation?
So, Sandra, that's a great question. If you're not going to use automation, then you can manually migrate content by copying it from your old website and pasting it into the new website. As we all know, because we're in this AI world, human brains are much more nuanced and good at complex tasks than a computer robot. So that can be the best and most accurate way to migrate content. And you can do it internally. And so it saves cost with an external vendor or agency or team that you've hired to help you with your new website. That said, doesn't have to be all or nothing. We can help you strategically decide what content is best to migrate via script, if you do have budget for that, and what you may want to migrate manually. And migrating things manually is something that can actually be useful because it teaches you the new editing interface. As you enter the content into the new site, you're learning the new editing interface. Some clients of ours will get a bunch of interns to help them migrate content, and they'll buy like stacks of pizza and they'll feed the interns pizza while they copy and paste content from the old site into the new site. That is one way to do it. And even when there is automated scripted migration, a lot of that content needs to be cleaned up because there'll be artifacts or just strange broken HTML or an image that didn't quite make it over for some reason that need to be checked and manually fixed anyway. So even with scripted migration, your team should be prepared to do some content cleanup at least in the new site.
Fantastic. That's really good. And you could make it a party, it sounds like. Make it a party, learn your
Yeah,
new interface, bring our content over, review it. It could be that there's some content you thought you wanted to bring over, but now
yeah.
that you're reviewing it, you realize actually that's outdated. So it sounds like not only can it reduce costs, but it actually gives you some hidden benefits if you do manual content migration. And just to be
Yes.
clear, migration just means bringing your content from one website to the other website.
Yes. Yep. It sounds fancy, but it's really just moving content.
If I'm interested in a web development project for my nonprofit, let's say I was a nonprofit comms person or like the CEO, and I was looking for someone to redo my website or make a new one from scratch, does DevCollaborative have services that you would recommend to get started?
Yeah. If you reach out on devcollaborative.com on our contact form, we would be happy to talk with you about project ideas, plan an RFP if you need to do an RFP process, and just help you think ahead about how you want to approach something.
And what if you don't know exactly what you need and you just want to have a conversation and maybe some quick fixes? Do you have any small get to know you kind of services?
We do. We have some services called tiny services where we can look at your site for just an hour and talk about improving editing, improving accessibility, writing better for the web. And we have consulting around protecting your site against government censorship and how to pick a content management system, Drupal or WordPress or Squarespace or Wix. So all those things you can do with a very small engagement with Dev Collaborative, or we can engage in a bigger discovery process if you're ready to do that.
Thanks. That's it then. So if you found this helpful, then like or subscribe, as they say. We would love to know what you think of DevCollab's new series and what questions or topics you'd like us to cover in the future. Share this episode with your Drupal and WordPress using colleagues who might find this helpful. As always, let's collaborate.